That R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang, D, it be that E, it be that R, it be that S, on our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, just wanna be that hater. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders. Give me a stack, I'ma turn it to some racks. LA didn't wanna give us a home, but LV got us on the map. That be a fact, I bet it all on silver and black. Hard Carson and Mad Max got me in, but I've been down since the 90s. You don't want the black hole, homie, don't try me. Raiders roll deep, some say that we grind me, but we bring the revenue every time we grind in. Third and summon, Wallace gone. Brett Fro caught it and now he's spinning. Mariota on third, he's sprinting. R.I.P. Madden, Al Davis, and all of the Raiders fans that we lost since the beginning. It be that R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang, D. It be that E, it be that R, it be that S on our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, just wanna be the hater. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders. It be that R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang. It be that E, it be that R, it be that S on our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, just win, be the hater. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash with a silver hat about his head and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold, and the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them for their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you down, round and upside down, and laugh when he's conquered and won.
The Raiders! We ain't on Nintendo, we never switch.
Raider Nation, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Fan Talk Friday. I got a good panel, as always. Thank you guys for joining me. We got some stuff to talk about. Nation, what's going on? Welcome to Protect the Show podcast, where my opinions might not always be popular, but they'll always be authentic. Thank you guys for rocking with me today on this Friday. Hope y'all had a good week. But before we get started, make sure you guys please hit the like button, share the link, tell your people. But before I get started also, man, I want to shout out to the chat, man. Got some people already in here. ASMR Dog's Life, what's happening? Jesse, what's going on? Queen V, what's going on? My boy Randall, what's happening? Raider Ben, what's good, man? So who else we got in here? D Menace, what's up, man? Las Vegas Raiders latest, what's happening? So, man, I really appreciate you guys stopping in. So for sure. But yeah, man, let's get started, man. So first I got my boy Leo. What's happening, baby?
What's up, bro? Man, that intro song was fire. I'm over here freaking.
Hey, man, that song is tough, man.
Love it. Yeah.
Crazy thing. This dude, he lives in Ohio, man.
Does he really?
Yeah, I think he's from out west somewhere, but yeah, he lives in Ohio. I just hit him up, man. Like, man, this is fire. I'm gonna use it on my intro.
Yeah.
He was like, cool, man, no problem. I'm like, that's what's up. But guys, so also got another special guest, man. Got another Chris in the building. Chris, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How are you guys?
Good, man. Good. I appreciate you coming on. So I know we also got another guest. I know she may be running a little bit behind, but she'll probably be here, fairly soon. But let's go ahead and get started, man. So, Leo, I know, a lot of the people already know you, man. You're definitely family to the show. Me and you, we actually have a show on Tuesday, the Nothing But Raiders podcast with our boy Spotlight, man. But Chris, man, let's take a couple seconds to kind of tell us about yourself, man. I see you on social media doing big things. You got a nice little community that you that you rock with, man. But tell us a little bit about you.
Well, man, I love the Raiders. I got a couple kids. I got them into football. I love the coach, and anything Raiders, I'm absolutely down for it. So
that's what's up. You said you love the coach?
Yeah, I coach. Yeah, I coach.
Oh, nice.
Soccer and football.
Oh, nice. Okay. What age?
Right now, my boys are moving up to U16.
Oh, okay.
Oh, damn. All right.
Oh, okay. So you're probably dealing with some athletes at this point.
Yeah, my youngest son, man, he's only 14, but he runs like a 4.6 right now. That's and that's being great. It was like a 4.63. I always round down, but he's quick, man, and I got big hopes for him. He's up 5'10", 135. He's cut, man. I wish I was in shape like that when I was. I'll tell you what.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you play any ball when you were younger?
I played my freshman year, and then they kind of recruited me over to the soccer side, so I finished it out and played soccer my 10th and 11th grade year and 11th, 12th grade year.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's what's up. What's up? Leo, man, tell everybody about you, man. What's good with you, man?
Oh, man, you know me. I'm the freaking diehard Raider fan since I was probably one of the few that saw them win the Super Bowl, but still around here. From LA, been following them ever since, bro. I'm just really passionate about the team, about the sports, and I just got into this whole going on podcasting thing with our boy Spotlight. Doing it with him last year, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun being able to cover the team, come on here, get to know a bunch of different people. That was one of the things I always loved about the nation, bro. Was when I went to Oakland, was meeting people from all over the world. Not just California, but all over the world that were Raider fans.
No, that's a fact.
Just how big it is. It's just insane, And being able to bring up my nephews with me, bring them up as Raider fans. So it's kind of cool that way, bro. I love it.
Yeah, man. That's a fact, man. That's one thing I do love, man. Just meeting fans from everywhere, man. I mean, I think I'm starting to build a nice little community just of people that follow my group, man. And we always talk some good ball, literally from everywhere. You can't beat it, man. But shoot. But let's talk about let me see if V is ready. Let me see. Miss Villa, you there?
There she is.
Hey, I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. I knew you would make it, man. So you made it just in time. So why don't you tell the nation a little bit about yourself? Just tell us a little bit about yourself and how'd you become a Raider fan? And how long have you been a Raider fan?
Oh, man. The first time I went to a Raider game, I was about 15, 16 years old. My mom took me to my first Raider game. Fell in love ever since. It was one of the best experiences ever. I was like, oh my God, because I was always into sports. So, and I was so tomboyish. I still kind of am, but that's nothing.
No, that's cool, man. Yeah, you gotta love. I just always love hearing people's journey, like how they got there to be a Raider fan. Now, do you have like a certain player that got you to that point that you're like, oh man, he's badass. I love, like, this is my favorite player.
Tim Brown.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I like Timmy. Mine was the one that got me was Bo Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. That was my boy, man. That was my boy right there.
Even though it was only a short time, like it was Bo that got you into it.
Yeah, it was, man. Because during the time, like that's when I was younger and I was just starting to play football and watching football, and I always wanted to be a running back, man. And then plus playing Tecmo Bowl.
That's what I was gonna say. You had to.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, man. So Bo was that dude, man. That was my dude. What about you, Chris? Man, who's your favorite player, or who kind of got you into the Raiders?
Rich Gannon and Jerry Rice, man. I was young, under 10, and Gannon, I already kind of had I just love watching Gannon play no matter what. And then Jerry Rice came over, and I just said, at the time I was just a football fan as a kid, and then that did it for me. So ever since, right then and there. So we're talking 25 years probably about.
Yeah, that's fire, man. Gannon was fun to watch, man. Like I don't care what nobody say. Like we've had some good quarterbacks in our time, but Gannon was fire, man. Gannon was fire.
You can't forget about Hostetler, bro. Hostetler was the man.
You like Hostetler?
I did. Well, I'm a big Tim Brown because I'm a Notre Dame fan. So
yeah.
Tim Brown went to Notre Dame, Heisman, then he came to the Raiders. That was my dude. But when Hostetler was here, that's when Timmy had some good years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. So but shoot, no, let's get started, man. So I'm not sure, and plus, just like I told Chris earlier, I'm like my goal today is I'm not going to bring up Carr at all.
You did already. Take a shot. That's once.
No, I'll just tell him you got some rules. I'm not bringing up Carr.
Brought him up.
I know, but that's it. So like, after I take this drink, I will not say his name anymore. This show. I don't care if you guys try to bait me or anything. It's not happening.
We'll see.
No, but anyway, so we're gonna talk about Jon Gruden, his whole situation. You know, as you guys know, the ESPN reported that there's some owners that believe Dan Snyder and Goodell had something to do with Gruden's leaked emails. So, what do you guys think about that? Because I mean, I know there's a lot of back and forth about it. Me personally, like I'm curious to see what's in the whole investigation because I do feel like it's a hit job. Mm-hmm. But I will say that like I'm still not going to ignore the fact that he sent the emails. I mean, that's on him. He should have been, but he wasn't. He wasn't even working for a team at that point, man. So I'm just curious. How do you guys feel about that? Let's start with you, Leo.
Man, you know what? I thought so. It was a hit job as well.
Yeah.
But like how you said, you can't ignore what he said. And one thing I've always said about the NFL, the owners and the management and all that stuff is like, I'm not surprised that shit happened or it came out because that's how they were back then. You know what I mean?
Oh, they still are.
And that's what I'm saying. It was no secret. So for it to come out, for me to be like, oh, I was surprised he said that or anything like that. Like, no, not at all. But I honestly think it was a hit job because of who else was involved. The fact that Goodell and Snyder, you know how many things Snyder has been involved in? Man. And it always never goes away until recently when he just finally had to sell the damn team. But like the way that it was just only Gruden, and Gruden was the only one who paid from that. And then for them to now all of a sudden come out and say like, oh yeah, like now other coaches are saying, no, bro, we knew that shit when it happened. Like they're not stupid. Like we all knew it was a hit job. But us as Raider fans, we were just used to that shit.
Yeah, we're used to it.
Of course you were gonna do that shit.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, but like you said though, I don't excuse anything he said though. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that was fucked up. Mm-hmm.
But actually, I mean, and then you think about it, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, I think any of us, like, if someone would like go through some of your conversations with just like your homie, like, man, you might find some stuff about somebody. Like, if I'm thinking it'll be somebody else.
Like, if you go through this, like, you might come up with some stuff and be like, "Oh, we got to ban Leo." That's what.
Oh man, I'm defending my phone to the death, man.
Yeah.
Telling you. Like when I die, I don't want nobody to go through my phone. Be like, man, you was an idiot.
Right? Like hell no. Especially like conversations amongst your boys or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And I can't believe that. Well, I can't say I can't believe, but I mean, who was he talking to? I know he was talking to what was it, Bruce Allen.
Allen and Snyder.
Some other. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what they were saying back. I'm sure it wasn't just Gruden just saying stuff. Like, what was the response? What made him double down on some of that stuff? So, what do you think, Chris?
Honestly, back on what you guys said, I think it was a hit job at the end of the day. But also, what he said was very offensive. To to some people, and you can't let it go 100%. I wouldn't either, but I think the way the world is now, you just gotta watch everything you say. So I just John Gruden's one of them guys that says what's on his mind. I don't think he mean it in any ill way, but you never really know unless you're kind of in the midst of things, conversation. So I love John Gruden. Back in the day, Chucky did a lot for the Raiders. He was another reason why a lot of people became Raider fans. I'm upset that things went the way they did, but at the time I also felt like the organization needed it. So I think it was kind of a divine, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. Man, shout out to Randall, man, in the comments. He said, my phone is going to the grave with me. I feel you, Randall. I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah, it's sad because just like you said, Chris, like I loved Gruden, and honestly, I was excited when he came back the second time, man. I'm like, bet, let's go, man.
You
I
know
know a lot of people.
I was too, but why were you excited? Was it because the whole Chucky thing and how cool he was, or because by then I think the game had passed them by?
But but we didn't know at that point. I mean, like, we kind of thought it, but I mean, we haven't had really no success except we had a little bit with Hugh Jackson and Cable, but besides that, it was like,
don't forget Jack, don't forget Captain Jack.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. It was just, guess it's just the nostalgia of it, man. It's like, man, just it was like what could have been,
Right.
because we had the Tuck rule, then we traded them away, and Callahan basically sabotaged our Super Bowl. So it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think we should have kept Reggie McKenzie as the GM. I think the Mike Mayock GM was probably the worst of the hires out of him and Gruden. I think and he hired his friends. He had the mistake of hiring friends.
Yeah,
people with average track records. I don't think he hired Olsen, or he should never hired Gunther. I think the one with the best candidate, and I don't think he did that. If he did that, who knows? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
No, that's true, man. Like I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn about Reggie McKenzie because he did walk into a mess. He definitely walked
bro. He walked into a team that never had a GM.
Yeah, and they were like in financial ruins, like when he stepped in. But like when I always think back, like my interview with Hugh Jackson, it's like, man, how crazy would it have been, like being a coach and the owner is telling you to go sign contracts for guys when they came back from the lockout, the NFL strike. That is ridiculous to me, man. That he did. I couldn't believe it. And like I think that gets overlooked. Like sometimes when I'm talking to people and I'm like, how you feel about Al Davis? And it's like, I love Al, but it's like he had a lot of mistakes and he gets credit for so much, but he did some BS too. Like I just can't even fathom asking the coach to go sign your players and then get mad when he doesn't sign like your star tight end. Like I don't know, man. That gets overlooked so much, man.
It does, and I think that we share it all the time on social media about like, we love Al, but don't overlook the end.
Yeah,
the mistakes that were made. Like that was Al as well.
Yeah, it was, man, and like he just had us in financial ruins, man. And like one of the moments that kind of like pissed me off the most about him is when he talked Javon Walker out of retiring. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Javon Walker was like, you know what? My heart's not in it no more. Here, take this $11 million you gave me. I don't even want it. I just want to quit. I was like, no, you like, man. It was like, come on, Al. That was just wild, man. That was
what was another crazy Al one that I saw recently? I saw one of the Ravens 30 for 30 about that Ravens team. And how he offered Saragusa a contract. Saragusa thought about it, called Al back and said, okay, I am going to come to the Raiders. And then Al said, no, that was yesterday's deal. Today's lower. And then Saragusa ended up going to Baltimore.
And then injuring Rich Gannon.
Right, exactly.
That's probably why he belly flopped on him,
I
man.
was watching that. I was like, bro, you mean to tell me we could have had Saragusa? Like, wow.
Hey, he would have fit in, too.
Hell yeah, he
He was a big nasty dude, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, so yeah, going back to the whole Gruden thing, it's like I think we all kind of wanted to see what would have happened, like that big what if. So I don't know.
I did, especially because we were 5-2 when it happened.
Yeah.
And the team was starting to turn around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just wonder, like, even if he stayed around and we did have a little success, what would we have done with the salary cap issue? Like, I don't know, man. Just like,
well, I think Mike Mayock was gone regardless at the end of that season if Gruden was around or not.
You think so? You think he was a problem?
I think Mike Mayock was, man. I think he put on some really bad contracts. I know Gruden probably influenced some of them contracts heavily.
Yeah.
I think Mike Mayock, man, I don't think it was his first time as a GM. He was going to make a lot of mistakes, and that was a given. I think a good opportunity elsewhere, but I don't think he had a good first 10 years, as a GM at all. So
as far as the contracts, you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the contracts and that's and that's why we're in the cap situation we're in now. I mean, look what McDaniels and Ziegler walked into. You got to look at rules, and I always try to be a realist.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think Mayock, he drafted some of these kids he wanted. Gruden, like I said, had a hand in something. What
voice,
wasn't behind the scenes. But, especially after the Henry Ruggs thing, I know that was after the Gruden situation. There were so many things that had went wrong, Damon Arnett, all that. It was just building up. I think it was.
Damon Arnett, that's right.
It was going to be where we're like, look, John, but the boys got to go. We need somebody. I really do. I believe that was the downfall of that whole staff is not keeping Reggie McKinley on. Like you guys said earlier, he brought us out of cap hell, man, and not too many guys can do that. And I think he was a good job, and I think they went about it the wrong way with him. I love the fact of Gruden coming back, and I was hyped. Like Chris said, nostalgia, man. It was just like a brand new '90s, early 2000s feel. So, but McKenzie was the guy, man, and I think that Gruden he wanted his hand in everything in the organization, and he's just not that guy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. It's see me, it's hard to know who really called the shots, honestly, because I hear like Mayock kind of alluded to it wasn't him, but I don't know. But
Mayock said the same thing when it came to like players that panned out, like Renfro.
Right.
Mayock said Renfro was his choice.
Right.
John was against it, even when they were on the field. Like he was like, "What the hell did you pick this guy for?" And yeah.
Right. And honestly, and I think that like that whole AB mess, that was all Gruden. That was all Gruden, man. Which I mean, in theory, it was a great idea. Yeah. On paper, you're like, shoot, we're about to be nasty.
I hadn't been excited about a free agent in a long time, and AB was like one that got me super hyped, bro.
Yeah, no, I was geeked about that. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, we gave him the money he wanted. He's gonna be happy. Then I'm like, the little feet thing,
right?
The helmet thing, and then he comes in with an hot air balloon. I'm like, come on, man.
The Hard Knocks.
He messed our whole Hard Knocks up, man. I was so geeked for the Hard Knocks. He messed that whole day. I'm like, every episode was about him, or it was or it was John Abrams riding a horse, holding hands with Cleve Farrell. I'm like, man, we should have known this. Then it was gonna be some nasty work, man. Crazy. But okay, so let's talk about Jimmy G and his little health update. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know it's a little old, but I'm not sure if you guys heard Mike Lombardi. He's a father of two of our assistants. He was on a Pat McAfee show, and he had some interesting words. So I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but now you're about to hear it.
Happened. Let's start with Jimmy G first. Jimmy G came in, and everybody thought he was going to pass his physical, and he didn't. He still had the fifth metatarsal that wasn't healed. So what the Raiders did, and Don Yee did, his agent, they sat down in the room and they said, how do we make this where everybody can succeed? And so they put a waiver clause in, and they decided to put a screw in his foot. They knew he would be ready for training camp, but he wasn't going to be in the offseason program. This was decided back in April. And so therefore they deferred the signing bonus until he can pass the physical, which he will. And I think he's on track to do that. And I think he's been instrumental in their team in the offseason in terms of building the camaraderie. Jimmy G has a unique ability to get people to follow him. He is really well liked, and his teammates like him. You could see it in San Francisco.
What you guys' thoughts on that, man? I actually believe him. I mean, he is an insider, you know, with his sons, man. But what's your thoughts on that, Chris?
My thoughts is I'm going to say the same thing kind of you just said. I mean, I believe him. We have no reason not to. He has an inside scoop with the team. And you know, Jimmy G is liked no matter where he goes. So I think that's something you got to look at. And if he, you know, and he's out, man, down, he can be the best version of himself and healthy. If we get a healthy Jimmy G, well, I think that makes us a playoff team. I think it's health.
No, I agree. So, Villa, how do you feel about Jimmy G? Because every girl I talk to, whenever I talk about Jimmy G, they talk about everything except football. But how do you feel about Jimmy G?
To be honest, I'm like, oh God. When I first heard about it, I was like, really? Because my family is half Raiders, half Niners, right? So my Niner family was like, how do you feel? I was like, oh God. I was like, I don't want to go there. Don't talk to me about that. And then like, it's funny because one of the doctors I work with, he's like, well, he's a young, handsome guy. I'm like, but that's not the point. What do you feel about him? Like, what do you feel like? He's like,
that don't score touchdowns.
And then he's like, as long as he takes us to the playoffs and we win a Super Bowl, it's fine. I'm like, I'm with you on that one. But we will see. We will see how this season goes.
Yeah. I'm optimistic. I hope it goes well. What's your thoughts, Leo?
Man, you know what? My main thought was after hearing that is bravo to the management for not taking his shit on the signing of the contract.
I love that.
Like, covering the team that even if Jimmy doesn't play, we don't lose shit. You know what I mean? Like, I love that part about management because prior management would have fucked this all up.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
So that's the part that I like about this. But like I told you, I'm going to remain faithful. McDaniels has played with him. But my thing with Jimmy has always been this. Like, and I watched a lot of their games because my dad's a Rams fan. So that's a huge rivalry, right? So I see a lot of the Niner Ram games, whatever. And my thing with the Niners has always been, I thought if they had a better quarterback, they would have won a Super Bowl by now, based on the teams they've had.
Yeah.
They've had him. He's managed them. He's gotten there. I've always felt that he was the reason why they didn't win the Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
Same.
But then at the end of the day, like now he's our quarterback. Do I think it's an upgrade? That remains to be seen. In my mind, I don't think so. I think if anything, it's a lateral move. But like everyone's saying, if he wins and gets us to the playoffs, then I'll go buy a Jimmy G shirt. Not a jersey, but a shirt.
You ain't gonna
I ain't gonna commit like that, but yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Like I want Jimmy to do well, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I'm always on here talking about it. Like he definitely was my last choice.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I'm not gonna lie, and now it's like I almost seem like a Jimmy stan, but oh well. I'm a Raiders fan.
Like, not to be a jerk about it, but like when we signed him, it was kind of like you ended up with who the last person was in the club when the lights went on.
Right.
Like, oh, Jimmy, you're still here.
Yeah, like okay, come on, man.
Oh my God. You know, that's what it felt like to me when it went down.
I agree. I agree. I can't lie. Like when it was like all said and done, I'm like, why don't we just pay Stidham $5 million and just rock?
That was my thing. I wanted at least Stidham. If Stidham would have stayed around, I would have been cool with it.
Right. So I don't know, man. But I mean, honestly, I think it was good to hear Mike Lombardi say that because I think at least it lets us know the team was always in the loop of everything, you know. So I think that was big, you know. So at least they knew they didn't go in blindly, you know. They did their due diligence, and you know, we'll see what happens. But shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Miss Cheryl, once they start putting hardware in the feet and ankles, they are never the same. That's a fact. That's a fact. Once you start putting screws and all that stuff in there. So But positive thoughts. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we just gotta keep them healthy. Hopefully, that line can do something. So I don't know. We'll see. See, we got 11 days to see Jimmy G on the field or not. Yeah, that's gonna be key. That's gonna be key. Randall, the season will answer all questions until we are all just guessing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, my boy Terrence, as long as he's on the field and Jimmy we trust. And I get it, man. I get it. I wanted to keep Stidham too. Yep, I did. Did you see Stiddy run this team? Jimmy is 100% better than Stiddy. Jimmy going to be good. I hope you're right, Randall. I hope you're right, man. I think honestly, I think Stiddy could have made it happen, man.
I know people say it was the no tape on Stiddy, but I love.
No, I don't buy that at all.
Niner game, bro. The way he balled in that Niner game, I forgot about number 4. I was like, bro, Stiddy. Like I was ready.
That's what I'm saying. I hate when people talk about the whole there was no tape on them. I'm like, okay, there may have not been no tape on them, but they had like the best defense in the league. Right. And usually when a backup comes in, he has the starting quarterback, the former starting quarterback, at least helping. You know, he at least has a clipboard just like the guy did for you. But that so-called former quarterback, he took his ball and went home. So he didn't even help Stiddy prepare.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, so honestly, you got to think that's a gutsy performance, man. I mean, I know we lost, but that was a gutsy performance against a team. And then that next game against the Chiefs, I mean, we were so banged up. I mean, I think we had
that was
bad. We were like on our third offensive guard. I think the local
the defense, Perriman and them were out.
Yeah, everybody was out. Yeah. So I don't know, man. But
it was crazy. I told one of my boys, he's a Bronco fan. And I'm like, bro, don't be surprised if Russ cooking still stinks and Stiddy comes in there and with
I say the same thing. I say the same thing. I say the same, but I don't know if Stiddy is just a system guy or not.
No, we'll see.
So, yeah. Well, what was your thoughts on Stiddy, Chris?
I liked him a lot. I put him as my profile picture, my background, and everything. I was, people,
did you?
And because they were in love with number 4, so
I was like, Chris, I moved on already.
Go.
And the whole value of the situation was he came in, he did his job. They said there was no tape, but if you watch him in college, he was a good quarterback, man. There's no taking it. Man, I'm surprised that the Patriots didn't try to see what they had in him more. I know he played a couple games, but they went straight to Mac Jones. So I mean, at the end of the day, who knows? Because if he's a system quarterback, he would have stayed in New England. He would have been great. He came over to Vegas. He would have stayed. I think he would have been better than what we had at the time, and that's because he was more mobile in the pocket. And that's not to take away nothing from 4, but he was mobile in the pocket. He liked to take chances, and he wasn't scared to throw the ball. He wasn't so scared that he threw the ball away. He wanted to make plays, man, and I like that. So I would have absolutely been happy if we would have gave him another year. I would have even went out on a limb and say give him a 1-year, $12 to $15 million deal and make it incentivized. I would have loved to do that because I think he was worth it. Yeah,
no, for sure. OJ Raider, I agree, man. He said, let's give Zig some credit on those genius contract insurance. He signed some great contracts. He definitely did. My man Charles Washington, man. I love him. Charles in here, man. My boy Charles always ruffling some feathers, man.
He does.
I feel like me and him always got opposite. He's like my boy Terrence, man. But he said, funny some talk about Stiddy like we won those last 2 games. What did I miss? But I think honestly, sometimes it's about the eye test. You can't always. I mean, especially in a situation like that, Stiddy just came in there. I think he played a hell of a game. I think he played. I mean, the second game wasn't as good, but that first game, we lost on the interception at the end, but bad blocking by, Miller, to cause the interception. But I don't know, man. Charles, leave my boy alone, man. Said he was all right. He was all right.
Relevant in both games when they already had counted us out.
Right. So
for him to come in like that off the bench, not have number 4 there, like to hold his clipboard, like you were saying, and help him get full of things. For him to come in and do that to even keep us relevant is just amazing to me. So, I mean,
I agree.
I mean, shoot, Zia was at the game. How was the whole crowd when Stiddy was there?
I just didn't like how the whole stadium was all like, dude, it was not blacked out at all.
Oh,
It was like, it was the Red Sea, okay?
yeah, that was all bad. Yeah.
I mean, but that was in San Francisco though, right?
No, that was in Vegas.
That was
bro.
in
Yes.
Oh, that was I'm sorry. Yeah, that was in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on here? I was
In
like,
fact, wasn't that the game that Mark was kicking people out because they was holding signs?
That's what they say. Yeah.
yeah, that's what we're saying.
That was wild because on TV it definitely looked like that. You just see
Dude, it did. I had never seen a Raider game like that. Where, that was those last two games because it was that Niner one and the Chiefs one.
Yeah,
red. Like, hell no.
Yeah,
I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah, that was tough to watch, man. That was tough to watch. Oh man.
All right, let me ask you guys a question real quick. What do you think of Aiden O'Connell?
You know what? It's still a lot to see. I like his story. I look into his story, his background. You know, he's always been the dude who has to come from behind. Like, I like that. He's always been the guy who shouldn't have been playing, who shouldn't have been starting. I mean, the other day he was the quarterback on a Big Ten Purdue team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was good enough to be drafted in the fourth round by the Raiders or whatever. So I think there's something there. I hope that he ends up being good. You know?
Yeah, I'm to be honest, it's hard to say because me being a Michigan fan, you know, a Big Ten football fan, so I had a chance to watch him. But it's hard to evaluate quarterbacks sometimes because a lot of times it depends on, you know, what's between the ears, man. Like, how can he retain information and stuff like that? Some guys, it's not about athletic ability, but one thing I can say about him, the dude's accurate. I mean, he's slow as hell, but he can put the ball where he wants to put it, and I think that's a good baseline to start building. Like, he's not gonna be ready this year, but if you give him a couple years to really learn the system, understand the concepts that our offense has, he could be okay. But he's a savage for wearing the number he's wearing, though.
Yeah. If I could say one thing about him, that's what it would be, though.
Yeah, I'm like, man, he ain't playing, man. He ain't playing.
I think he's got some kind of a Big Ben feel to him, like a Ben Roethlisberger feel. Like, I feel like
I would have to see him because with Ben it was the presence.
And Ben started off as a beast, though. You could tell Ben was going to be a beast.
I just got that vibe, and you know, Ben tried to run when he could. I feel like Aiden O'Connell is the same way, and I just feel like their pocket presence to me is just kind of like similar. I think that I'm going to see some good things even if he doesn't start long term for us, and he plays a couple games or fills in or wherever he's at. I think he could probably get away with doing some big things. I hope, because at the end of the day, you need a solid backup, and backup that's good. But I got high hopes for him. I got a good feeling about him. I haven't had a good feeling about any of the quarterbacks we had behind for years. So, you know, now that we have a plethora of old Patriot quarterbacks and this guy now, this Rook, I think he's going to do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how well he picks up the offense, how smart he is. Because I didn't want Will Levis, so I was glad we didn't mess with him at all. And I was glad we didn't draft the quarterback high. So I mean, we'll see.
I thought we were gonna make a shake for Trey Lance at one point. I thought.
Oh God, no.
Thought that.
Trey Lance.
It kept popping up, and then people were talking about it, and it was picking up.
Yeah.
And I said, man, you know what? I said, they're going to want too much, and I hope they don't give too much for them. I kind of wanted Jimmy G from the start. So once we went into it, I was kind of happy because.
Oh, did you? Like, you wanted them before anyone else that they were talking, like the Rodgers and Brady?
Yeah, once I knew that we weren't just sitting and was gone, you know, I kind of was like, who I want is Jimmy G. I bought a Jimmy G jersey already and everything.
Did you?
He's
okay.
People might get on before, but he's an accurate quarterback. He's a leader of men, and he's not going to make excuses. You know, you look at him; he's not a long ball guy, but that dink and dunk offense, and we got the guys for it. We got Renfro. I mean, you know, now we got Mayer, tight end. He's a big guy. He's going to handle things. I mean, if Josh is, you know, signs, we have a great running game. I think he's going to excel in that. He ain't got to throw the ball 40 times a game. He can throw the ball 18 to 22, 23 times a game. And if he completes, 65, 70% of his passes, we should be in every game. So I think Jimmy really good. I don't, outside of the health thing, there's nothing wrong with him. I mean, he's always been good to me, and I need to be.
So that's a perfect segue. So you said that he won't have to throw the ball that much. Now, why would he not have to throw the ball that much?
Because I think we're gonna be dynamite with the running game. I think that if Josh resigns, Josh might not be.
I was waiting for you to say that.
But if Josh resigns, let's say Josh gets, 15 carries. Let's say Zamir White up and they start working him into the system more. He might get 10 carries a game. Abdullah get a couple picks there, some stuff. So you got to look at it from that. I don't think they're keeping all them running backs that are different. They're all different in style. I don't think they're keeping them guys for no reason. I think that we're going to see a bunch of running backs this year. And I think I don't think he's going to have to throw the ball a ton.
No, I agree. I mean, I hope that's the case.
I would hope that's not the plan. Like they didn't bring him here to be a gunslinger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Looking at he's forever. You know what I mean? I think let's get through this year, see what we got, see if he stays healthy. And if not, we got this young guy, and then we got next year. I keep the tank stuff, and I don't like it. So I think you just got to let the guy play. And at the end of the day, I think Jimmy G, I think will be a solid bridge at least. So
yeah, like man, to me the perfect situation is if all these young guys develop on defense and just get better, and then the continuity of everyone just gets better to the point where if Jimmy does okay, or if we even get to the point where we're almost, because I think our offense will be fine, but it's all about the D. But if we get to a point where we're just a quarterback away, then I would give up the house for Caleb. For Caleb, if we had to, like similar to what the Panthers did, if we had to. But everything else around us will have to work though.
Yeah, you have to do that once you're a quarterback away. Like I think when the Chiefs did it for Mahomes, they were a quarterback away because Alex Smith wasn't going to get it done.
Yeah.
So that's why the Chiefs, Andy Reid and them did what they did to move up and get Mahomes or whatever. Because they were in that position.
How far did they go up though? Because Mahomes is what, like ninth or something?
Ninth, yeah. Mm-hmm. They were like in the teens, I believe. The Chiefs.
Okay, so they didn't give up nothing crazy, probably.
No, but they knew that they were a quarterback away.
Yeah.
It's funny because when Villa got a jersey, she got number 10. I was like, don't tell me she's a Jimmy G fan. But then
you know what? It's so funny because my cousin started. He's like, oh, one of my cousin's friends. He's like, number 10 for Jimmy G. I was like, no. I was like,
no. I thought that too, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's her basketball number. I was like, the women in Jimmy G.
But you know what? Props to Chris for getting that number 10 already. He's already rocking that Jimmy G jersey, bro. That's what's up. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. So
I know once I wear it, I'm gonna hear it. I'm so gonna hear it like, oh my god. I'll be like, no, it's not. It's not for his number.
Wear proudly. Wear proudly. He's our quarterback.
I still get shit when I wear my when I wear my number 4 shirt.
Wait, what shirt you say?
Number 4, I said.
Oh, that's what you said? All right. All right, take a drink, man. But speaking of JJ, so did you guys see what Marcus Allen was saying about JJ? So basically, this was Bill Williamson, wrote this article. I think came out a couple days ago. But basically just talks about Marcus Allen's not pleased to see how NFL teams undervalue running backs. And he had a couple interesting quotes in here. So he said, unfortunately, there's a prevalent assumption made by all these teams that these top running backs aren't worth investing into beyond 4 years, and it's not true. He basically said that at a golf course that he was at. And then he later on said, I know there's been some cases where top running backs saw their careers end early, but it's not all of them. These teams have to look at it individually. It's not all of them. You have to value these guys, and they're sadly undervalued. It's a copycat league. So one team follows the other when it comes to valuing running backs. It's prevalent, and I don't know if it will change, but I'll watch and hope that it does change. It's intellectually dishonest. And then he went on just kind of talking about, he's a big fan of Jacobs and wants him around for the long term. He's not worried about the wear and tear on Jacobs, who's 25. He said he's young, he's fine. Use these workhorses. What's you guys' thought on that?
Well, I honestly that he's a big part of the offense, like I talked about earlier. I believe running backs are undervalued. I think contracts to begin with, their rookie contracts, they should be more incentivized. That way, you don't have to depend on that second contract to make money. I always compare it to stuff like this. You're gonna buy a Maserati. You say you're gonna go spend, I don't know how much they cost, $180,000, but you're guaranteed to have it break down on you in 5 years.
Right.
Are you gonna put out the money? And I hate to compare a person to a car, but I'm just trying to, get the wavelength. But I think Jacobs still got some good years in him. He wants 5 years to room. I don't think you can keep, and pay a running back $15-16 million a year for that many years. I think it's not smart business, and I think the Raiders do that. And I think that they want to lock him down for the future, but it's just 2, maybe 3 years. And I'd be okay with that, but I want that contract heavily incentivized. That way he performs. I want to pay a guy $1 million a year to go down week 6 and be out till week 12, and then who knows if he's coming back after that. You know what I mean? So it's all about the smart aspect of football, and I get it that some of the running backs are undervalued, but right now it's Barkley and Jacobs. Barkley, to me, he's injury prone, and Jacobs is as bad as him. I feel like you want to pay him because he's the guy on your team. He does produce, and he carries, and he puts the team on his back for you guys. So I understand, but it's $15 million. I think at 5 years each that's just too much, man. I think you got to go a little lower. I think you go like 12.5, 12.6. You incentivize it, and you give him like 10 and some change guaranteed. I think everybody's happy at the end of the day. I think he gets his money, and if he does well the 2-3 that he's on the team, and he's still got it in him, another team will pay him. So how many years are you? How many years you thinking it would be ideal? So you only want to do like a 2-3 year deal? Yeah, like a 2-3 year deal, and I sign him after that. But see where you're at 3 years. You don't, like I said, you don't want to pay all that money and then him to be, injured, and then you got that chunk of salary cap. We've done that in the past. And then with the down in the bad contracts and players going down. I mean, we wasted a load of money as an organization, and that's why we're stuck in limbo, man. And I truly believe that they're playing the game for the long haul. They're smart about it, and I think they're the smart thing. And I think Jacobs is going to have.
Yeah. Response to the Charles Washington. He said, Mark is my favorite player, but when he played, running backs were 60% of the offense. But the thing is, JJ is that of our offense. That's my thing. He's we need him, and everyone knows we need him. Like I keep hearing people think like, hey, we could get go get Cook or Dalvin Cook or whoever. But my thing is, the thing is, we've seen it so many times that like people, I don't know if people just think like football is just like Madden, the video game where you can just plug and play. Like people play better under certain schemes, it's stuff like that. I mean, just whether if you're running zone or power, and it like Josh has already proven that he can play in our system. Like, why are we so quick to want to get rid of him over, $3-4 million a year? I don't know.
What do you think, Via?
I think like this pre-workout already hit me. I'm just kidding.
He's over there ready to work out. But Via,
Right?
in fact, let's talk about that. So I know one thing that we kind of discussed. So there's a big Raider event that is going on. What's it, like the 22nd or something?
Yes. July 22nd.
Tell us about it.
At the Madeira Fairgrounds. Dub C is going to be performing.
West.
It's being thrown by the Black Hole and the Eminem production. Raider mob boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see some familiar faces. It's been a while, haven't gone to events, but
So where is that at? I mean,
in Madeira. It's in Madeira. It's in California at
oh,
the
okay.
Madeira Fairgrounds. Yeah.
You going, Leo?
That's Northern Cali, maybe. I don't know. I was going to, but now that I'm going to go to the training camp on the 28th,
Oh yeah,
so now
I
I don't know if
forgot
I
you
can
going
do
to
both.
that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going to go to the
fire.
training camp. So, because I want to see Dub C. I have to see Dub C. That's
Yeah,
California, bro. That's West Side for life.
man. Yeah, Dub C was my dog. Dub C was my dog.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, that's cool, man. So yeah, I've heard people talk about it. I don't know much about Cali, so I don't even know where that is in Cali. So I couldn't even tell
You
you.
know what? That's the thing with Cali. There's so many events like that for Raider Nation clubs,
Yeah.
clubs. Like they're all over and year round, bro. I went to one in Rosarito last year. I didn't even know it was down there. They had one down in Rosarito. All the
I think
Raiders,
it was from the Baja
yeah, it was
Raiders.
the Baja Raiders. Yeah, they did one down there in Mexico, bro.
Yeah, they wanted me to go because it's the following week after the event, and I was like, man, I wish I could have gone, but I was like,
and you just meet all kinds of Raider fans, bro. It's crazy. Then you meet the super fans, the ones that get dressed up.
Yeah,
I took my nephew with me last year to one of them. Yeah, it was cool. He liked it, bro. Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I know one of those groups. I think is a Black Hole, but they're doing they're having a party. Maybe it's opening day or like for the opening game, but they got my boys Bone Thugs and Harmony gonna be there.
Oh, it's
from
probably
Ohio.
Yeah.
BBS from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that'd be tight to go to. But
there's another one down here by me in Fullerton, Cahoots. They had some of the Bone Thugs do there last year as well. They do every Raider game. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah,
that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Did you guys see what Tim Brown said? So your boy Timmy, so he was basically just kind of talking about Jimmy G and Devontae, kind of like their chemistry. So he said, Devontae hasn't been able to catch one ball from Garoppolo. It shouldn't take too long to get it all together, but it's going to take some time. And that's just kind of him talking about the absence possibly affecting Devontae Adams' production. Do you think that's going to happen? Me personally, I think no matter who the quarterback is, Devontae is going to be a dog and he's going to have production. I mean, that's just me. And it's not like Jimmy's a rookie, so Jimmy knows, certain things. But what's your thoughts on that, Chris?
I think that no matter who's throwing the ball, he's going to go get it. We've seen that, throughout the years with the Packers, and we've seen that with number 4 last year. So I think we're in good hands. I think they're going to pick up the click. Like I said, people follow Jimmy. People follow Adams. I think they're going to be team leaders. I think they're going to have a connection immediately. Adams is about his numbers, man, and I know he wants to win too. So he's going to go out there and he's going to play, and I think him and Jimmy are going to connect real well.
See, I think Adams. I don't think he's like about his numbers as people say. Like, I don't think he's like diva. I don't think he's diva-ish though.
Yeah, he's not diva. He just, but it's when he wasn't the targets, he kind of you could tell the frustration last year. I think he sees them try to make plays with other people, and then other people can't do it. And he's like, hey, look, I can do that.
Yeah,
let me do it in that situation. And I agree because I've seen some catches from him last year. I haven't seen in the NFL in a long time.
Yeah, I think Tate proved that last year, bro. Like how you said, I don't need Rodgers. It wasn't Rodgers. I'm a dog. I don't matter who throws the ball to me.
Yeah.
And maybe even the Niner game we were talking about earlier about City.
Yeah.
It was Adams who made, the ones who made those crazy catches and runs afterwards. But I think Timmy Brown's got it right. Like when you're a dog and you're a veteran, it doesn't take you that long to get used to how a quarterback's going to throw to you. You know what I mean? You know how to play. You know how they're going to do. You know how the offense goes. I think a lot of the frustrations with Tay last year too was so much everybody else not catching the offense. Because you remember that Kansas City game when him and Renfro
that was ball game right there.
I was like, bro, that was game.
Yeah.
And I saw that a lot in other games as well, where people weren't where they're supposed to be, and then that's when I would see him get upset. I don't think it was so much about the numbers, but it was just like, come on, like we need to get this offense going.
But when you saw some of his had some of his press conference or just his little interviews, he would say like, you know, he's not a diva, but he's like, if we're losing, at least give me the ball because I can help us win. You know, that's my thing. Like, it'd be different if we're winning and they're double teaming them and triple teaming them,
Exactly.
and everyone else is eating. But like, let's not get beat by 30 points and I only got 2 targets. Like, nah.
The one I remember clearly because was a New Orleans game, and I remember them hardly targeting him at all in the New Orleans game. And that was the one we lost 24-0.
It was like such a it was like a teeter-totter, man. Like one game he would get like a stupid amount of, especially early on. Remember that one game he had like 20 targets or something.
Yeah.
And then the next game he had like 2. Like, come on, man. I don't know.
And I think too, Jimmy G and Derek Carr aren't. I said his name.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, there it is. Take a shot.
I don't think they're from each other. Like realistically, like
you think they're what?
They're not that far off from each other, like game wise. They're both game managers. Managers. Derek Carr's got a better long ball, obviously, but I think Jimmy G is more. Derek Carr has the fourth quarter comebacks, etc. But Jimmy G, he wins when it counts. So, I think at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be that much of an adjustment for him. So,
yeah, I think. But I do think Jimmy's first look is going to be at Michael Mayer, though. A lot of his first.
Oh, because it's tight end.
A lot of his first reads. Yeah. But then again, I think that's going to open up so much. Like if Jimmy can really, man, it's like it's so much potential with this offense if they do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
But
you know what? When I read that article you gave me that showed me the Tim Brown one, I think that was what I tried to explain to you about my frustration with McDaniels. Because last year the expectation was so high because we got Ted.
True.
And we had number 4, and the offense was supposed to just click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because we only saw it sometimes, other times it was gone. I think that's where the frustration was. And I saw that when I was reading the article, and that's where I get upset. Because I expected so much from this offense last year with him coming here and our offense finally exploding, and then to not see it. It was like, oh man. I mean, granted, we were up there in the ranks or whatever, but like I said, it was never the whole game where you would see the offense,
No, I agree. I think at least with that, I think it just has to do with that guy throwing the ball, man. He was missing people a lot of times. I mean, it's just, I don't know. There was people running wide open, or there was. The guy throwing the ball was throwing them too high or too low. And again, I'm not blaming the guy throwing the ball, but just saying, it's like, hopefully Jimmy can find those guys, make the right read. And I don't know.
The thing I see Jimmy is not taking as many risks as the other dude used to. Unnecessary throws to try and fit him in where you shouldn't have thrown that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see Jimmy doing as many mistakes as he used to. That's the part I would see Jimmy doing less of. Yeah.
No, I agree. Randall, leave me alone, man. At least I'm not saying his name. Let me live, man. Let me live. I'm not saying his name, man.
Right.
But shout out to the chat, man. I was just thinking, man, I'm gonna have a name for the chat. I think I'm gonna call them the Shield Squad. For Protect the Shield, the Shield Squad. That's gonna be the name for my chat from now on, man. So y'all the Shield Squad. So shout out to the Shield Squad. So we're so close to camp. What are you guys most excited for just heading into camp?
Michael Mayer.
Oh, so you're a big Michael Mayer guy.
Yeah, I like him. I think that, the baby Gronk comparison, they call him Gronk or whatever, I think it's pretty accurate. And like you said, you made a valid point that, they use them tight ends in that New England way. So I think, Jimmy in there slinging the rock. If Jimmy G stays healthy all season and Michael Mayer's 100%, I think that's going to be a crazy connection. I think we might see some Brady Gronk type love there between them two. So, and then if Josh signs, I just think that offense is going to be crazy. So I'm just excited to see the young guy get out there and play, man. I love Darren Waller. His game is going to be definitely different than Mayer's game. So there's a little adjusting there, but I think the tight end room is going to be good this year. I still think Horsted is a sleeper to play well. I think he probably did over Howard. So, I mean, I think that tight end room is probably what I'm excited about the most.
Yeah, for sure. Leo, I'm not gonna say nothing. I saw you laughing. I'm not gonna say nothing.
What I laugh about?
No, when you start talking about Waller,
Oh,
when you wait for me to say something, that's my boy.
yeah, that's his boy.
Charles Washington, you're right. The old number 4 is better. David Hardy, from 1987, he wore number 4. He was better. You're right. I'm sure that's the number 4 you're talking about.
No, I think he means as far as using the name when we reference him. Call them the old number 4.
So,
Yeah.
Via, what are you looking forward to for training camp, or do you not care? You're just ready for the parties.
I just want a good season. That's what I want.
Right.
That's
No, I'm with you.
You know what? I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube yet, but the Raider website puts out like these videos. And they put out a new one yesterday, and it was a book called Homegrown.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm looking
fire.
for.
That was a good production.
Fire. That got me hyped. See those videos? Get me hyped, and that's why I think we're gonna win the Super Bowl every year. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing with those videos.
Do. They're good.
But that's what I'm looking forward to, is the development of our own talent. Like so long, we always try to bring in these other dudes that we're gonna fix or take us to the promised land. But like to see this regime doing that, and in that video we pointed it out, like all these young guys coming up, you know, how they're gonna develop, the depth, and that's what I'm looking forward to see how it comes out in the preseason. Like, are these dudes developing? Is Divine Diablo the man that we're hoping he's gonna be? You know, is the secondary gonna come together? Is that D line, this insane monster D line that I pictured, like how it is in Madden? Like, is that what it's gonna look like on the field for real?
Right.
You know, like that's what I'm looking forward to in the training camps, to see how these rookies are, and to see McConnell. I'm really excited to see him, bro. I want to see if he is that good, like his presence, like people say.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to go to training camp. Was to see
watch him.
Yeah, and
really, he should be getting a lot. He should be getting a lot of reps too, because I don't even know if Jimmy's even still going to be practicing a whole lot at training camp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hoyer's old butt's not going to be.
Yeah, they know. He's in that. Just Aiden O'Connor, Case Garbers are probably going to be the only two to play.
Mm-hmm. That's what I figured. It'd be O'Connell and Garbers.
Man, people
even in the preseason games, right?
People be sleeping on Garbers, man. You know, like in fact, I'm talking to you, Terrence, because you know all you guys talking about Sincere McCormick and all these guys.
Oh my god,
you guys love all these no-name guys, but when I say Chase Garbers looked good in preseason last year, man. y'all need to quit sleeping on Chase,
right?
I mean, he was neck and neck with City last year in preseason.
Yeah, he was.
So. But cool, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man, before my AOL internet messes up, man.
I think good right now, bro.
I know. That's why I'm like, man, I don't want to. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was sitting here scared to even start the live. I'm like, man, as soon as I hit go live, it's gonna go crazy, man.
You were, bro.
Yeah, I was like, I did not. Man, but yeah, I'm just glad it went through. But Shield Squad, I appreciate you guys, man. I love you guys. My man Leo, I really appreciate you. What games are you guys going to this year, if any?
Buffalo.
It's a surprise.
Surprise for you? You don't know which ones?
Actually, I am going to one, but I'm not going to say.
There you go. Okay, it's a secret for you. What about you, Chris?
It's a surprise.
I'm going to Buffalo and then possibly Detroit.
You say Buffalo and which one?
Possibly Detroit.
Okay. I'll probably see you in Detroit, man. I'm probably thinking about going there.
I was on her earlier. I don't fly, so it's going to be tough to get over there.
Wait, where do you live?
In Baltimore.
Oh, okay. Shoot, I think we play Baltimore next year, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that'll be dope to go.
Yeah, my mom's a Baltimore fan. Yeah. So I told her I'm gonna take her to a game sometime. So yeah, that'll be cool. My mom, that means you're the designated driver then. What about you, Leo? I know you're going to quite a few.
Going to Pittsburgh for sure, the home opener. Debating Miami. I want to go to Miami. My homeboy.
You got to, man.
Lagging, but now that I know you're going, I might go to roll with y'all.
Yeah.
And then, of course, here in LA, when they play the Chargers and all three fans, I'm gonna go to that one. and then probably the Vikings one in Vegas.
That's the one I was trying to probably go because it's on my birthday weekend, you know. But
It ain't no secret no more.
I'm thinking about it, but I already have one in plan. I already got my ticket and everything, and I'm good for that one game that I'm going to.
That is another cool thing about Vegas, though, because you do see more of the away fans because they're less afraid to go to Vegas than Oakland.
Yeah, they wasn't going to Oakland.
Yeah, they wasn't going. The only ones I ever saw go to Oakland were Steeler fans.
Oh, Steelers are about that life.
Steeler fans travel.
They're about that life, yeah.
Yeah, those fools still went, but.
Hey, Charles, what's wrong with AOL, man? My dial-up. My dial-up, it made it today.
Right.
I made it today. Shoot. But hey, again, guys, I appreciate it all. Thank you guys for stopping in. As usual, I'll be on next Friday. Me and Leo will actually be on our show on Tuesday. So make sure you guys connect with these people. Leo, where can they catch you on social?
Oh, yeah. You can follow us. Follow me on Instagram at Chidolinus. I'll be there. Also, our show, Nothing But Raiders Podcast, on Instagram and YouTube. Make sure to watch us on Tuesdays. We'll start coming to that show with you. And then we'll do even more stuff once the season gets going, bro.
Absolutely. What about you, Chris, man?
You go Facebook, Unique Sports 2. That's the page. It's a good group of people. You guys check it out, man.
In fact, before we leave, tell us about that. What all that you guys do?
It's a page of it's a lot of older Raider fans, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and it's a pretty diverse group. We all look out for each other. We have sponsors, Chucky Stuggs. We do giveaways, we do raffles.
Cool.
We all help each other out. And it's not like a Raz page. It's one of them pages you go on and Jim might throw up a helmet. He makes custom helmets over there. So any helmet you want, he will find it and he will get the build in right for you to write stickers, everything.
Oh, really?
Got a couple people on the page that you can signings. We sell jerseys. We do a little bit of everything. We're not super hard with pushing and advertising. We mainly take care of each other, but it's a growing page. It was about 10 times the size before Facebook took it down, and then now we're back up, and it's Unique Sports too. And it's just it's a great place, man. You can come talk football. So I love talking football. Sometimes I get too carried away, but I love it.
I love it, man. Well, it's always been an honor, man. And Miss Villa, where can they find you?
On Instagram, it's Raiderette_Villa.
Yeah, and it's how you spell Villa, because when you say Villa, I would have spelled it differently, but it sounds like Villa.
It's Villa, whatever. It's VILLA, like Pancho Villa, like.
Got it. Well, awesome. Well, again, thank you guys, and as I always say, players and coaches, they come and go, but we must always protect the shield. You guys be safe. Have a good rest of your weekend.